G'day guys. I've got the 120 series Prado Rear table here, just spread out on the table. So today I'm just going to go through step by step how to install it on your vehicle. So it's a really easy DIY setup. You'll find in your kit, you've got this section here, which is our spice rack holder. On the rear of the door, there's going to be an indent, and it's basically just going to mount up as so. So you can mount all your spices and whatever else you need inside. Then we have our table here, as you see. So on the rear section there, that's my locking section for the table. And on the front there, you've got your mounting points, two on the front. And then I have my hinges. So this section here will be mounted to the door. And this is a section that's going to wrap around and lock to the front there. And you'll see these two little legs there. They're going to mount onto these mounting points as so. So you've got two of these in the kit. And then we've got all our nuts and bolts there. So you'll see a set of screws and also nuts and bolts. I prefer to actually take the moulding off the door and drill it into place. That way it's a lot securer when you're going off-road. Other people like to just screw it straight into the rear door. That's a preference. So basically, we're just going to go through, mark out these on the vehicle once we've taken off the moulding, and get into it. All right, so here we go, guys. I've got the Prado. So basically what I'm going to do, dismantle the rear moulds off the door. So as you see, this section, there's just a screw in there, and just remove this piece. Once this is off, there's two screws in there, and I've removed the toolkit, and the rest is just clips. So basically, you just got to get your fingers in there, or just get a one of the pry tools, and it just pops out. The clips just all pop out, and you can remove the whole the moulding. So what I'll be doing now is I'm going to assemble the door on my mould, and then I'm going to fit it back to the door once it's all complete. So you've got this netting section on the front there. So just on the rear of the mould, there's some screws. Just undo those, and this whole section will just come out as so. Now, with this section removed, you'll find our spice holder section just fits straight into place there. Okay, so all of the holes line up with your existing holes, and I've got my my Allen key head bolts there, and then I've got a washer, and then I've got a lock nut. So basically I'm going to go around and just re-drill the holes just so that the bolts fit through nicely. And then I'm going to put the flat on the bottom with the lock nut. So you'll find that you've got three mounting points just in the center there. And in your kit, you've got this little reinforcement bracket, which is going to be fixed to the inside of the mold, just to strengthen those nuts and bolts on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead now, just lightly run my drill through all these holes and mount this bracket up. So I've just cleaned out my mounting points there, and I'm just going to feed the bolt through the front as so, and pick it up from the back with my flat washer. And so this is the reinforcement bracket for these three mounting points there. But as you see, there's a piece of moulding just in the way. So just with a Stanley knife, I'm just going to trim this section out, just so my bracket will sit flush. That's just going to sit flush in place there. Now just a tip guys, when you're using a Stanley knife, always cut away from yourself and never towards yourself. So just go around, finish off mounting all your points, and then I'm going to tighten it up. So as you see now, I've got my spice rack in place. So that was quite easy there, it's nice and firm, all tightened up. So now that we have our two brackets that are going to be holding our table. So as you see, Rockarmor uses this hinge system. So what we're going to do first is mount this to the door, and then once it's on the vehicle, we're going to mount the bottom section onto the table. The section with the little rope, now that goes towards the top of this moulding, and you'll see that the cutout there just follows the contour of the moulding there, so it's going to sit in place as so, and this top section is lined up with this top section of the mold. So I'm just going to go ahead now, drill this out and mount my nuts and bolts, and do the same for my left and right hand side. So I've got my drill bit here, so this is a 5mm drill bit. I'm just going to go through, I've got my 3 points, drill them out. So I'm just inserting the bolt from the top and then pick it up with my flat and nut from the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead now and tighten this side up, then I'm going to do the opposite side. So there you have it guys, it's real basic setup. Our spice rack's all mounted in place there. We've got our both brackets left and right. Now make sure the rope side is to the top. We have our hinge set. Now this hinge is going to mount to our table once we mount this moulding back onto the door, which I'm going to do right now. So that's basically it. Now I'm going to go through, use all the mounting points just to fix this moulding back into place. And then once that's in place, I'm going to mount my door. So what I've done, I've just used my table and raised it a bit. So it's sitting in place. Now this bracket here is going to mount to the 2 holes on the table. And I'm going to mount my bolts from the bottom up. Straight in as so, and then fix it with my flat and my lock nut. So I've got 2 mounting points on each side. Once I've tightened these up, then I'm going to put my mounting point just on the corner here. So just a little tip there, our tables will be sitting on the outside of that bracket, so when it folds up nicely there. Now I'm just going to fix that into place and then tighten it all up. So there you go guys, that's how easy it is. I'm just going to repeat the same process on the other side, and we're ready to go. There you go guys, the perfect addition to your 120 series Prado. So wherever you go now, you've got that table, you've got that spice rack for your barbecues, for your campsites, and look how easy it was to install, and it just folds up, so easy. As you see, we're ready to go.